Hey guys, welcome to class. If you've clicked the link on this video, you probably know what this is about. So go ahead and find a way to a wide stance. You can go as wide as you want, but since we are working on the hamstrings today, maybe a little bit closer is nicer if you are open in the hamstrings. If you're a little bit tighter, then go nice and wide. Fire up those quads, lift the kneecaps, and take a moment to fold forwards. Be sure to lead with the belly button and just explore and see where you're at today. You can take the hands to the floor or keep them on the hips, your choice. A little bit of movement side to side, whatever floats your boat. If you're still halfway lifted, fold all the way down. Maybe the crown of the head can touch the floor. Just try to keep the spine nice and long. Then bring the hands back to the hips and softly lift all the way back up to standing. Let's find some hip movement to warm up through the body. So let's find Skandasana towards the back of the mat. Bend into what is my right knee. Sit all the way down and then transition into a high lunge. So roll over the back foot, reach the arms up, open it up through the chest, and then we'll reverse it. So back heel drops, Skandasana. We'll scoot over to the other side. Sit nice and low here. Make sure that the back leg is nice and long. Back leg changes side to side. Sorry about that. Lift the back heel, reach the arms up. Nice and high. And reverse. We'll just go side to side a few times. Really warm up through the legs. Try to move softly, smoothly with control. The more slowly you move, the more control you can build in the movement within the body. Let's go one more time. So when you're back through center, find Skandasana towards the back of your mat. A high lunge, let the hips drop nice and low as you reach the arms away from them. Back to Skandasana. Shoot towards the top of the mat, Skandasana. And then rotate towards a high lunge. Reach the arms all the way up. Lower them down and come back to your wide fold. Turn the heels in, toes out. Let's find Goddess pose or horse stance, however you know it. Try to push the knees open and out. Really press the outside edges of the feet down. Lift the chest up. If you want to intensify it even more, pull the hip bones and the ribs towards one another, or tuck the tailbone if you will. And we'll hold here for a moment. Keep the pressure, keep opening it up for another 5, 4, 3, sit a little bit lower if you can, 2, and 1. Let's find that wide fold again. Straighten through the legs, turn the heels out, toes in a little bit. Like I said, if you're very flexible, bring the feet a little bit closer in these folds. Otherwise, stay where you are. As you bow down. It's okay to round a little bit through the spine. Lengthen through the legs here though. Connect with the breath. Notice where you are in the body and in the mind. Maybe you're very present, maybe you're a little bit distracted. Whatever the case is, let's lift ourselves back up. Then walk towards whatever the top of your mat is and step back to downward facing dog. Long through the arms, maybe paddle it out through the feet a little bit if this is the first one for you today. And then find some stillness. Shrug the shoulders up. Remember there's weight on them, so we are keeping them strong. Let's lift the right leg up towards the sky. Find 3-legged dog and then step the foot forwards in between the hands. Nice and slowly let it land and then lift yourself up. Let's find a high lunge for today. Not too much focus on the shoulders, so you can keep the hands to heart center. But to fire up the hamstrings, as you're in your lunge, see if you can pull the front heel, the right heel, towards the back foot, or think about bending the knee as you stay in your lunge. So stay nice and low, pull everything together, feel it fire up, maybe a little bit of an opening in the left hip. Wherever you are, we'll hold for another 5, 4, keep squeezing, 3, 2, and then on 1, let's find a pyramid pose. So straighten through both legs, the fingertips land. If you want to, you can scoot the back foot in a little bit. Maybe turn the toes up. Your practice, your options. Breathe softly in these moments of stillness. Use the Ujjayi breath if it's in your practice. And let's gently land the front toes, plant the hands, step back to downward facing dog. We'll switch sides. The left leg goes all the way up and back. Open it up. And then very gently bring the knee into the chest and step the foot forwards. Slowly rise up and immediately find that tension from the start. Fire up through the glutes. Pull the front heel and the left heel. Let the shoulders be soft if you will. Keep that tension. A little bit of shaking is okay. See if you can build up more and more force the lower part of the body and find calmness in the upper part. Notice if you're holding tension in the face, the forehead. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten through the front leg. Find your pyramid variation. Maybe scoot the back foot in again. I like to do that. And then simultaneously turn the toes off the left foot up. Just to shorten the hamstring a little bit. Makes the stretch a little bit more accessible. As always, with the exhalations, we can come a little bit deeper into it. Breathe. Stay present. Just one more moment. And then when you're ready, shift forwards, plant the hands, step back to downward facing dog. Option to stay here, or if you want to, flow through a little vinyasa. Knees, elbows down, pull forwards into upward facing dog. Roll backwards into downward facing dog. That's kind of a half vinyasa, but it works for today. Wherever you are, bend the knees, look forwards, and step the feet to the top of the mat. Take a moment, Uttanasana if you want to. Grab hold of the elbows, let the torso hang, a little decompression in the spine. Sway side to side for a moment. Let the neck be soft, let the head be heavy. And then release the elbows. Plant the fingertips and wriggle the feet wider. We'll set up for Malasana. Softly lower the hips down. And we've already worked with a little bit of openness there, but let's add to it. So notice how it feels today. Press the knees out. You can use the elbows for this one. Outside edges of the feet, always the pressure is there. And then plant the hands. We'll transition between this one and a forward fold. So lift the hips up, turn the toes in. Try to straighten the legs as best as you can before you reverse it. Toes out, hips down. A few more times. Lift the hips, toes in, straighten the legs, and then softly bend through the knees as you come back. Malasana. 3 more times. Next exhalation, lift the hips forward. And as you inhale, sit back and down. Try to stay long through the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Malasana. Exhale, fold. Last one here. Inhale, Malasana. Take another moment here, and then when you're ready, softly find your forward fold and roll all the way up to the top. And once you're there, shake it out through the legs a little bit. I want to introduce you to what's probably a new exercise for you. In yoga, we tend to stretch a lot in the hamstrings. For today, we'll do a little bit of strengthening in between. I like to, I don't really know what this is called. I always explain it as you're on a flying carpet and you're trying to look over the edge. My edge is a wall, so I can't really do it on the edge. But come to roughly in the middle of your mat. And then from there, float the right foot just off the floor. So you're balancing on the left foot. Then take the hands to the hips. And just like if you were on that floating carpet, look over the edge. So I want you to stay long through the legs, through the spine. but peek over the edge. As you peek over, as you sort of fold from the hips, feel the tension build up in the hamstring, feel it stretch. I want you to find that spot where you have the tension and a deep stretch, and then stand up really quickly without setting the right foot down. We'll do it 5 times on either side. That way we can really create that explosive contraction, which will help us stretch it later on in the practice. So 4 more times on this side, hand onto the hips. Stand nice and tall. Look over the edge, lean out. It's okay that the hips go backwards a little bit. Just feel it in the hamstring. Keep the left leg straight. And then stand up as quickly as you can. 3 more. Look over the edge. Feel the stretch build up. And stand up tall. 2 more. Lean out. And pull it in. You already feel it. 1 more. Lean out, look out, and lift yourself up. Set the right foot down. Shake it out for a moment. You know, this one can be quite intense, but we'll have to do it on the other side as well. So whenever you're ready, right foot is grounded, left foot just floats off. It doesn't matter how high it is. I like to keep the legs roughly even. I don't know why, it just feels better. Hands onto the hips, and let's lean out. First one was a little bit longer on the first side, so let's hold tension here and really make sure that the fold comes from the hips, so the spine is not moving up and down. It's nice and long. And whenever you're ready, squeeze it up to standing. So you're really contracting the hamstring to lift yourself up. 4 more. Whenever you're ready, lean it out. Look over the edge. Look at the earth beneath you. And then squeeze it up. 3 more, maybe a little bit faster. Lean it out. And squeeze it up. 2 more. Lean out. Look forwards. Go a little bit further. And then stand up straight. Last one. Lean it out. And squeeze it up straight. And release. Shake it out. Maybe bend the knees a little bit more. Come back to the top of the mat, or however far forward you can go in your room. Lift the right knee up, hold for a moment. Stand nice and tall. And then I want you to very slowly transition into Warrior 3. So keep the hands to heart center. Tilt the chest forwards. Reach the right leg all the way back. If you can, find some length in the standing leg. We've already opened the hamstring a little bit. For 5, 4, 3, 2. Gently bend the standing leg. Reach the back foot down towards the earth. Gently let it land. Drop the back knee. And we'll find our Ardha Hanuman. So straighten through the front leg if you want to. You can stay here, find the tilt. You can sit all the way down towards the heel and find the tilt. And see what feels good. Maybe try something different today. And try to keep the left toes turned upwards. Stretch once again into the hamstrings. Belly button moves forwards. Sit bones and tailbone scoot backwards. Try to stay long through the chest. The more you round here, if you don't know exactly what you're looking for when it comes to feeling in the hamstring, the more you round here, the less likely it is that you find that sweet spot. So stay open, stay long. For another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently shift back forwards. Lift the back foot up. Find Warrior 3 once again. Now let's see if we can come up the same way as we sort of practiced before. So whenever you're ready, straighten the standing leg and lift yourself all the way up. And set the right foot down. Even it out on the other side, of course. Lift the left knee up. Find your balance. And then find Warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3. I'm going to go backwards a little bit before I hit my head on the wall there. Try to keep the spine and the hips even and flat. Again, straighten the standing leg, even if you can only do it for just a second. And then very softly, bend in the standing leg. Let the back toes land. Drop the knee and find the same variation of our half split, our Ardha Hanumanasana. try to find stillness in the pose. And when you find stillness, when you stop moving, the stretch stays roughly in the same spot, and then the body gets used to it and it can open up over time. So we'll take a few more breaths here. And you relax as much as possible. 2 more breaths. Keep that stillness. Last breath. And then very gently shift your weight forwards. Plant the right foot. Lift the torso, lift the back foot. Float the arms up as well. Warrior 3. Nice and long here. Maybe straighten the standing leg. And then once again, that flying carpet move. Stand up. Nice and quickly. And gently land. Left foot. Shake it out once again. Maybe bend through the knees. Find your way to the top of the mat. Tuck the chin to the chest. We'll roll all the way down. The fingers reach for the floor. Maybe you can touch your toes. Maybe plant the fingertips. Maybe the palms can come all the way flat. Doesn't matter. As long as we find the full expression that is in our practice. Find the halfway lift now. Inhale. Flatten the spine. Reach the crown of the head forward. The next exhalation, plant the hands. Let's step both feet back. High plank pose. One more chance for your flow here. So let's do 1 push-up. Press back up. Knees and elbows down. Look forwards and pull yourself through into upward facing dog. Broaden through the chest. And roll backwards into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Pedal through the feet. Paddle through the feet. Whatever you want to call it. Maybe keep both legs straight and send the heels down. Lift the kneecaps. And then bend the knees, look forwards. Step or jump. Feet in between the hands. And drop the bum down. Or straighten the legs out in front of us. Let's set up for Janushirasana. Head to knee pose. So pull the right knee in. Let it fall outwards as the foot is gently touching the inside of the left thigh. Now for today's Janushirasana stretch, I want to engage the quadriceps, really pull it in, so really lift the kneecap. That way we can relax the hamstrings. I believe it's called reciprocal inhibition. So we tense one side, and as a result, the opposite side relax. So squeeze the quads, lift the kneecaps, turn the toes up, sit nice and tall, and then reach forwards past the toes if you can, or pretend that you reach past the toes. And eventually land the fingertips as far forward, maybe grab hold of the foot, but keep engaging. Keep extending that leg, keep straightening the knee throughout this stretch. The more we engage the thigh, the more we can release in the hamstring. And as always, the movement is coming from the hips. That way we can have the most stretch, the most beneficial stretch in the hamstring. So keep the thigh long. Lean out with the chest. For another 5, 4, 3, 2. And then on 1, soften the leg and round down a little bit. Relax through the body. If you've lost it, come back to the Ujjayi breath. And then softly release. Let's switch sides. Straighten the right leg. Bring the left one in. Let the knee fall out. Sit nice and tall, and once again, engage the leg. Keep it as rock hard as you can. Maybe the heel even floats off, because that's how straight you can get it. Reach the arms forward, stay long, and then fall down. Keep the leg engaged. First half of this, nice and strong. You can use the Ujjayi breath and build a little bit more fire for the last few moments here in the class. Keep it strong, you can feel it. For another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax the leg and fold, maybe just a little bit deeper. Close the eyes a touch. Last moment here in the stretch. And softly find your way upright. Let's bring both feet together for Paschimottanasana, or seated forward fold. Your choice if you want to do the active one. It will be pretty much the last pose of the flow here. So if you want to slow it down, feel free to keep everything nice and soft. So sit nice and tall. And like I always say, belly button forwards, reach past the toes, and then fold down. It's okay if the upper back rounds. It's okay if the lower back rounds, as long as you can feel it in the back of the legs. Always think about why you are doing this movement, why you are doing this practice. And if your sole goal is to stretch the hamstrings, then it doesn't matter what the hands are doing. It doesn't matter what the head is doing. It doesn't really matter what the spine is doing. As long as you move closer to your goal. I wanted to take about 10 breaths here in total. Let's say we are about halfway. Let's slow it down a little bit more. If you're still engaging the thighs, maybe for this last bit, you can soften them. Maybe let the forehead drop. And gently soften the face. And just take a few last minutes here where you can soften, where you can release. For our last breath, let's inhale. And let's exhale softly, as slowly as you can, as gently as you can. With the next inhalation, release the hands. Roll the spine upwards. Let's place the hands beside the hips, bend through the knees, a gentle counter stretch for all these forward folds as revolved tabletop. So lift the hips up, squeeze the glutes, open through the chest. If you want to, you can let the head drop. My headset will probably fall off, so I'm going to keep looking towards my knees for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently land the hips, extend the legs, and you can roll onto your back. Set yourself up for Shavasana. Just a few moments, maybe a minute or two here, where you can relax, where you can withdraw yourself from the world. The most important part is for you to be relaxed. Breathe softly. Accept whatever noises are in your room, wherever you're practicing. Accept whatever thoughts arise. Gently bring it back to the here, to the now. Thank you so much for practicing with me here today. Feel free to stay here for as long as you need, and I will see you again in the next class. Namaste.